Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today was supposed to be the start of the liquidation sale at the local Toys R Us here in Savannah, and I was very excited, and Justin had some stuff he wanted to see about picking up from Babies R Us, so we worked it into our work schedule today to where we could be there right at 10 o'clock when they opened. Well, upon arriving, we noticed that there was a ton of cars in the parking lot, and when we were walking up, there was a bunch of people getting angry and walking back out, and they were upset and chattering, and this old man just yells out in the middle of everybody like, they're not even having sales. I don't know why the hell I came up here. And so we decided to go ahead and go and see what was going on. So we get to the sliding door, and there's a green piece of paper, like a normal size sheet of paper, that had in print, kind of small actually, it said, due to a judge's injunction, we will not be having the liquidation sale, and it's been postponed. So we went ahead to go in just to kind of see what they still had, for kind of plan out what, we still were looking for at the time if they do end up having the sale. So Justin went to the baby department. Of course, I go to like the specialty action figures where the pops are, and I'm still trying to keep an eye on some of like the Ghostbuster 7-inch collectible figures and some other things like some memorabilia in that department. And anyway, so I overheard the lady in the electronics section telling some other people that there were a bunch of stores this morning that were scheduled to go ahead and start the liquidation sale, and sometime last night or something that there was a judge that signed off saying that no, they blocked it basically. So there was more people in the Toys R Us at 10 o'clock this morning than I've seen in there in a long time. Like at one time, even like, unless it's Christmas time, basically any other time that you go in there, there's a few people straggling here and there, but there hasn't been a crowd like that in a while that I've seen. So anyway, I did a little bit of research on the phone when we got back in. Of course, we didn't pick anything up. We just kind of scouted to see what was going on, and supposedly now there was like $200 million in investments that popped up in like the last 24 hours. I guess as a way to try to boost the company and see if they can use what profits they're making to be able to make up some of the slack. So a judge, I guess, decided that they don't want them trying to liquidate, to go ahead and continue to see if they can make up for the bankruptcy aspect. I'm not exactly sure how all that works out. But yeah, and then I heard on the radio on the way home from work that on top of all of the stuff that's going on, that I know it affected the liquidation part affected the Savannah store and some in South Carolina. I'm not sure how outspread that was, and part of the whole $200 million thing is they're trying to save at least 400 stores. Some of the stores have already started liquidating, but then on top of everything else, like I said, on the way home from work, we hear that like the guy that actually started Toys R Us died today, like this morning, sometimes early lunchtime maybe, and just like blew my mind. This is like crazy. So I don't know. I grew up with Toys R Us. I was really sad when KB Toys went under, because that was another place that I had a lot of memories when I was younger. We late 80s, early 90s, before the internet, we didn't have Amazon and eBay and online shopping. So I mean, when we wanted something, you had to like beg your parents, or you had to beg somebody, your grandma or somebody, to take you to the toy store, and it was kind of like an experience in itself to go to the toy store. And nowadays you can keep up with toys and figure lines and different brands, and you kind of have like a release date to look forward to and some other things like that. And back then you just kind of was like, hey, can we go to the toy store and just see what's new? And then like hopefully they had something you were interested in or something that you collected, and you either walked out of there really happy or you walked out of there really sad. And I don't know, it's just really weird, like knowing that like KB Toys has already went under. Now it looks like Toys R Us is going under, and it's just like, it's like every aspect of like what I consider like a really good childhood is like slowly disappearing, and it's hard to take in sometimes, because it's like my children don't have that feel of how it was when we were coming up. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share this with everybody, and hopefully this works out, makes sense. It's like I'm kind of glad that the liquidation didn't work if they can save Toys R Us and keep it but I was kind of looking forward to trying to get a few things really cheap. So, all right, well, until the next one, have a good one, everybody.